It's the Redskin Rewind, presented by the Redskin Radio Network.
1st and 10, under center. Pinion will hand off to David Hall, looking for something. Comes back out this way. He's got McAlpine blocking on the edge. 40-45 up to the 50. Pushed out of bounds, a late hit. Bluff 40 for the Skins' first drive. They'll hand off. Yep, they will hand off David Hall. He'll have that first down, 35-30, up to the 25. Gets out to the left side. He is gone to the house. Touchdown. Skins said we're in it. They're an extra point away from tying it from 40 yards out. David Hall, another touchdown for him. Makes the shift to the left. They roll out to the left, and Eli Buse tipped it. He's come up. They'll hand off to Meads left side, and Luke Hodge and Kesey laid. Tell you my thought here in a second. Pinion will roll out. Got to step up in the pocket. Here comes some pressure. Throws it up. It's caught. Buse 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Aniana. Brody Pinion got away with one, but we'll take it. Aniana takes the lead.
Who said Pinion's not a scrambling running quarterback? You know, that right there, that was not.
Side with us. They'll hand off to Colin Moon. There's a hole up the middle. Colin Moon breaks a tackle near the 50-yard line. It's another Woodman Life first down. High formation. Pinion. They'll hand off. There's another lane up the middle. Moon breaks a tackle, trying to get to the edge. He does. 20. Trying to be brought down from behind. He is down to the 13, maybe the 12. Back to the left. They'll hand off to David. Up the middle. Touchdown, Aniana. 20-7. The Skins have came out and punched the Eagles right in the mouth. Here's to the top. Watch for the play action pass. Oop, straight drop. They'll hand it off to Meads. They're going to concede this one. And here comes the defense. It's that sophomore. It's Caden Crittner in the end zone. He'll get the football. Snap, hold, kick. That one up. And that one would have been good from about 55 probably. 24 for Golich. High snap. They hand off to Meads. Crittner got a hand on him. And here comes, I believe, high formation. They hand off to Meads. Meads hitting the backfield. They took him down. They draw him off. They're going to go. Snap it. They hand off Meads. No. Kesey Mitchell. The defense. They have came to play tonight. And they shut the... Put up a high snap. Pinion will just keep it himself. Pinion's got some room. He's up to the 40. Pushed out of bounds near the 35.
We need to run a quarterback, and I think you can handle it. He's doing a good job.
1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. They'll hand off to Moon. Moon looking for something there. Cuts back the other side. Cuts back this way again. Breaks the tackle. Still going. He will not go down to the 20-yard. Pinion, play action. Throws it over to Luke Hodge. He's open. Gets to the 15. Gets to the 10. Taken out of bounds. And that's another Woodman Life first down. Right at Pinion. Hall is the back. They will hand off David up the middle this time. 3rd time's the charm. 3rd touchdown of the night. And Aniana. Pinion will hand off. Coming back this way, breaks a tackle. Colin up to the 35. Breaks that tackle near the 30-yard line. Finally taken down by the jersey.
Collar.
And Moon out with us. They put McGill in motion. They'll hand off to Moon. Moon, there's some blocks up to the 25, to the 20, pushed out of bounds. Moon is still the back. They'll hand it off to Moon. Moon, there's a hole, middle of the field, 5, into the end zone, touchdown, Aniana. Put the nail in the coffin. You can start pounding away at it. The Skins, 36-13. 15-yard line at 37, Aniana up 37-13. Meads. Here comes Mr. Defensive Player of the Year with his cohort, Luke Hodge. And he's to the left for Pinion. They'll hand off to Nix. Nix, there's a hole, middle, end zone. Give him the touchdown. Now joining me on the Redskin Rewind is sophomore safety. Sophomore, your sister's a senior. You're the sophomore. Will Robertson, the more athletic.
Yes.
Is that better?
Oh, yeah.
Is that better? I introduced you to my wife, and I said his older sister is the more athletic, but okay, I'll be honest. You are the more athletic out of all the Robertsons. Who's going to be the best athlete?
My little sister, Madeline.
That's what I've heard. I heard she's going to be...
Don't tell her. Don't tell her.
Big head?
Oh, yeah.
Gotcha. I feel like your parents do a good job of keeping everybody level-headed, except for Savannah sometimes.
Yeah.
Savannah gets a little bit too cocky. Nah, all right, so you guys, big win.
Oh, yeah.
Or a huge win. And it probably shocked a lot of people. I feel like for the ones that have been around the program, have came to practice and stuff, like me, I wasn't surprised. I knew that the defense would come, and now going to the extreme of you guys shutting down Darian Meade to just 86 yards was a little bit of a surprise. I thought he'd at least get 100, but I had Phil on, and I asked him about this, the safeties. You guys, I felt like I had to play a huge part in the game plan, and you guys really stepped through. I know Coach White had asked the safeties to play a big role. Did that add any stress to you guys or any difficulties through the week? Especially, you're going against a stellar running back in Darian Meades.
Oh, yeah. We knew he was big and he was going to come hit us hard, but we just had to grow some, I guess you would say, and meet him at the line and do our best. They told us that he's really big. We knew he was big because of last year, and then we just took him down.
I know I told you earlier in the week, and maybe I may have told you at the pepper. Maybe it was at practice. I said I told Braden and I told McAlpine, I said, if you guys get a hold of him, just hang on for dear life and just hope a linebacker comes and helps you out. Well, you didn't listen. You got a hold of Darian Meades and you just took him down. What went through your minds when you met him at the line and just took him down?
Well, I hit him, and then somebody helped, and then I got around him and just picked him up, and I don't know what went through my head. I was just trying. I just wanted to get him on the ground, and I thought I was just going to fall down, but I ended up picking him up.
Because he's got a few extra pounds over you. But it was a great tackle, and I know that you and Caven Hill, I don't know if you know this, came away with hardest hit player of the week.
Sweet. I didn't know.
So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
I guess you'll probably find that out tomorrow when y'all go up and work out. Talk about the trust, that you guys have got to have on defense to be successful every week.
Well, we're just a hedge out there in the secondary. We have to communicate and know our roles, and our linebackers, we trust them because we had them last year and they went to fourth round of the playoffs. Same linebackers. And we're new back here in the secondary, but our line is really, really good. Defensive line is really good. And then we just trust everybody. We have to.
You mentioned having you guys being new. I know last year you guys, in the backup role, you had Jaden in front of you. You had Brandon Howard. You had Tavares. What are some things that you learned from them?
Really?
Hold that thought, actually. So you guys being backups last year, you had Jaden Warren, who's now at Troy. You had Tavares Hill in front of you. You had Brandon Howard. What are some things that they taught you about playing in the secondary?
Well, I learned in middle school really how to play safety and get my reads, and I just carried it over. It's the same old stuff. Read 2 and cover 4, and just the same old stuff, but they were really good leaders last year. They were very athletic, freak athletes, and there's no way we'll be able to fill their shoes, but we'll be able to get there and do our job for sure.
Well, all right, Will, I appreciate you coming on.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Now, joining me on the Redskin Rewind is sophomore running back Colin Moon. And Colin, I'm going to throw some news that you may not know that I shocked Will with. You were first of all, you were the Team Nancy and Shannon player of the game. You and David Hall, and then you were also the co-racehorse from the coaches as well, you and David. So congratulations on that. 126 yards with 1 touchdown. I know David had 123 with 3 touchdowns, but congratulations on that. This year the team is really vastly different from last year, just from losing 3 guys. But the spectators, they know the strengths of this team, and so far we've seen it with the defense. But what's some strengths of this team that you guys have that we really don't see on the field and the fans don't see?
It's definitely the leadership at practice. Leaders like Bo and David telling us not what to do, but they're showing us how to do it. It's not exactly like yelling at us, telling us, but it's they're quiet leaders. They're showing us how to do it, and they're doing it pretty good.
Talk about your health, and this is a curveball question to you that I just not thought of. Talk about your health. I know you were injured for the first couple of games that we had, and then last week, it was a little bit of a rough week. You're still trying to get back in the groove, and then this week, it's the Colin we saw last year, and I know your dad's happy, and your mom's happy, and the fans are happy to see that, and so is Phil. But talk about where you're at with your health and your lower leg. I can't go into specifics, but your lower leg.
I think I'm pretty good. I mean, it doesn't hurt at practice. You know, we tape it up before every game in practice, so I think it feels fine.
Well, what's it like? You know, I guess you could say the number one running, but 1A, 1B running back with David. What's it like having him as a huge role model, and what are some things that you've learned from him?
Well, when I moved up after middle school and getting used to the high school practice, watching him definitely helped me out a lot. Knowing what to do, knowing the plays, where I'm supposed to go, it definitely helped me out a lot.
I know last year, I may have asked you this question, and I can't remember if I have or not. Of course, your dad was from what I've heard, I've never seen footage. It's kind of like some fairy tales. Who's a better running back, you or your dad?
Me.
There you go.
I'm going to say me.
I like the confidence. And I think it's vast running styles, too. And Jeremy Hyde mentioned this during the broadcast when we were really just gashing Hooks Bluff. Was your dad was more straight downhill, I'm going to run over you. And you plan things out, and you really attack the holes differently than let's say David or your dad would. There was one play that really stood out to me. I know you're good at picking out the holes, but you're also good at running backwards. What went through your mind when you got spun around?
I was like, I'm not trying to go down. I'm trying to keep going, even if it means going backwards. I'm gonna get the extra yards. Awesome.
Well, congratulations on being the co-players of the game and the co-racehorse with David, and good luck against Asheville.
Thank you.
Now joining me on the Redskin Rewind is the only senior this week, and Andrew Aragwin, and man, big win.
Oh yeah,
it's a really big win, big upset win over number 2 ranked Hooks Bluff, 44-13. If I'd gave you 100 guesses, would you ever think that you guys would destroy them like that?
I always thought it'd be close. I never thought it would blow them out like that.
Yeah. Good win. So as we saw the other night, you know, I think the big key that everybody took away was the offensive line play. You guys really stepped up and were basically unstoppable. How does that knowing the game depends on you affect your preparation and your cohorts next to you on the offensive line?
Doesn't really affect it much because it's always like that. Games are won or lost in the trenches. So we just keep that in mind every week. Every Monday and Tuesday, we're moving the sledge 100 yards down the field, doing board drills and all that. So, I mean, that helps us. It just gets us prepared for the game.
Coach Riley's really hard on you guys, is he not?
Yeah.
Him probably could still play offensive line.
Yeah.
I think
he gained a little weight. So, I mean, I don't know. It might affect him.
You better be careful. With you being the only senior in here right now, what's one thing or maybe two things that you would want to leave behind for these younger guys? Maybe one, practice hard, because
practice hard.
Practice does make you better.
Little things matter.
That's the answer right there. The little things matter. What goes through the offensive line? And I know Jeremy Hyde would love this question, and he loves offensive line play. What goes through y'all's mind when y'all are seeing Colin break big runs, David break big runs, play after play after play? Do you love the run plays?
Yes and no. I love them when we're gassing them, but when it's like we're trying to burn the clock and we're on 26 times in a row, I don't really like that one very much.
Gotcha.
But other than that, it's nice to see them doing things.
Being the senior, do you think that it was maybe a kind of a blessing in disguise, kind of a good thing to lose to Hayden?
Yeah, it's put us back in our place because we thought we were better than we were, being at Priceville, which is not a very good team.
No.
We got too big, and it kind of put us back down on earth and put things in perspective that we got to work extra hard to beat all these other teams.
And it shows you that that last year is last year.
Yeah.
And this is a whole brand new team.
Yeah.
Brand new team. Well, man, I appreciate you coming on. I wish you the best of luck, and good luck against my alma mater, and go destroy them for me.
Thank you.
Now, joining me on the Redskin Rewind is head coach Phil Phillips. And Phil, I said it last week, I feel like the interview is going to go a whole lot better when we win, especially when your team, in a lot of people's eyes, play a complete game. And I know especially defensively you guys played phenomenally, but what a huge statement win for the Redskins, upsetting the number 2 team in 4A.
Yeah, it was a good week. We, anytime you play a region game, it's a big week. So, and we try to stay focused on that. It's next game, but it's a region game. So, and them being a team who the last several years have kind of been right at the top of our region, it was, it was big to be able to pull out a win. But like you said, a complete game was. We come out offensively and stumbled a little bit early in the third quarter, and other than that, I felt like all night we were on task, and it does make for a much better weekend. So, but it's early, and we got another region game this week, so you move on. But I was proud for our kids. I was pleased with their effort, definitely with their effort. And after looking at film, there's still plenty to work on, but I can promise you we were a little bit better than we were 365 days ago.
I want to go back to the first drive of the game in Hoax Bluff. They take it right down the field against our defense, and they go up 7-0 just a few minutes into the game. A lot of teams, it's a scary moment in the game when a team goes right down the field, they score. But our offense didn't hesitate. I think it was the next drive was just 3 plays, and David's running it in from 40 yards out, and that game is tied, and you guys didn't look back. I thought it was a good sign to see that the offense and the defense bounce back.
It was, yeah. They did to us in that first drive, their first drive, that some things that we didn't think they'd be able to do, and when they're able to do that, and you're in the look you want to be in, you are like, whoa, maybe these cats are just a little bit better than we are, and but for offense, who knows how the game turns out if you don't immediately respond and send a message that hey, we're going to be in a ball game. So it was and maybe that helped the defense see, hey, this is going to be a game. So I was pleased to see that, and I think that was a big key in the game.
For a running back of Darian Meads, I mean, he's a tough load to bring down. You go back to his freshman year, and I think that was Jacobs last year. He ran for 290. We lose in overtime 27-24. His sophomore year with Herring, we only give up 100. I think it was 130 yards to him, and you lose on a bad snap at the end of the game. And then last year, enough said about that game, 49-7. So he's really taking care of business against the Redskins. I don't know if I've ever seen on the high school level a defensive performance like that to really honestly shut down a running back of his caliber. 22 carries, 86 yards. You did give up 1 touchdown to him for 20 yards, but honestly, from the get-go, the defense shut him down.
Well, they did. It was the focus of the week, We knew if we were going to have a chance that we were going to have to take things away from them that they want to do, and obviously handing him the football 25, 30 times a game is something that they want to do. And if our focus all week was to get to him not only before he gets started, but to hit him and gang tackle him and stay after him and make sure, even if he gets yards, that he knew he got hit, and then when they give it to him again, he's going to get hit again. And I think for the most part we were able to do that. Our kids did a good job of buying into that,
And at any time, like you said, he's such a great back. Anytime you hold him to the kind of yard totals that I have seen, that it gives your team a chance to win. And then, they have the kid at quarterback is such a really, really good player. And then they started trying to do some things with him, and we told them that that's what would happen if Plan A worked, and they're going to go for us, then they're going to go to Plan B, and then this is what we're going to do here, blah blah blah. And so they did a really good job.
Yeah, you mentioned a quarterback, Ashton Gullidge. Looking at his stats so far this year, 100 yards passing at least in both games, and 100 yards rushing at least in both games, and we only give it up 8 yards to him. When people look at stats, I feel like they're going to look at total offense, passing and rushing, the breakdown. One stat that jumped out to me looking at it was your defense, going back to the defense, held Hoax Bluff to 0 for 10 on third downs.
Wow, I hadn't seen that. That's pretty impressive. And, third down, we talked about it a couple of weeks ago. We're not doing very good on third down.
I wasn't going to mention that.
And one way to counter that, until we get better, is for our defense to keep them from converting. So that's pretty impressive. And I don't know that it's been a while since I've seen anything like that. So that's quite a number.
We knew that the defensive line, you got a lot of strength there, and you got, of course, a lot of strength with your linebackers. But I thought a group that really stepped up and played really well, and you played them close to the line, was your safeties, and Will Robertson and Braden Moore. And I know both of them had a couple of individual tackles against Dairy Mead, especially Will Robertson. Got a hold of them and took him right on down. And Will's not the biggest kid. No. But I thought your safeties played a phenomenal game back there.
Well, they did, and we told them all week they're really key to what we're trying to do. We're trying to get another guy in the box where they don't know where he's coming from and how he's coming and which one it is this time. And we told them that meant that they're going to be tackling this guy right just past the line of scrimmage if things bounce out the way they're supposed to. And we worked it all week, and they did a great job of trusting what we told them and getting up in there and sticking their nose in there when they needed to, and taking that guy on below the waist like we talked about all week. And they really did do a good job.
All right, enough about the defense. You put up 44 points. Something has to be going right on the offensive side of the ball, and I know the offensive line, what a game they had going up against that Hoax Bluff defense. Colin rushes for 126 yards, a touchdown, and David 123 yards rushing with 3 touchdowns. With David, that's his third straight 100-yard game. For Colin, it's the Colin that we saw last year. He's finally being back to healthy. That rushing attack, and even with Austin Nix, he had a couple good runs second half. Brody Pinion at times had good runs when you needed it. Overall, good rushing performance.
It was. Anytime you can win at the line of scrimmage and be able to do what you want to do, it's a key in the game. And I obviously going into it, I thought we were going to have to. I told them we were going to have to throw the ball a little more this week than we were accustomed to, and it turned out that we really didn't have to, and that just says a lot to what went on up front and our running backs, and like you said, Brody. And then when we chose to, and most of our running was in the box, but we chose to go wide a couple of times. We got the edge there a few times, and our wide guys did a good job blocking on the perimeter. So. And that makes it, that's the key to the game, being able to control what's going on up front.
Well, this week you got the Asheville, it's region play, and this is somewhat of a rivalry. This will be the 26th meeting all time. Adiana leads it 20 games to 5 over Asheville. It's my alma mater, so I get a chance to go back and see some family and see some friends. So Adiana's really dominated the last few years. I know last year they jump out 14-0, but after that, the defense stepped up and the offense got going. You know, Coach Simmons in his second year here at Asheville's really got things going. They've been competitive in some games this year. What have you seen so far on film and your thoughts on Friday night?
Well, I really like what they're doing. Offensively, you know, they're spreading it out, and they got a guy at quarterback that's just doing a super job, and they've got some skilled people that can hurt you in space, and they do a good job of running it inside zone and reading that and keeping you off balance. They make it difficult to line up, and they expose you. They find some one-on-ones, and they're going to make you decide where you're going to give something up. And they are executing screens about as good as I've seen people in a while. So it's going to be a task for us defensively. They're going to make us defend from sideline to sideline, and you know, when you can do that and read people and manipulate the defense a little bit, it's tough. So I really like what they're doing. And defensively, I like their linebackers. I think they do a really nice job, especially their edge guys. And so it's going to be another challenge. It's we just got through meeting and feel like we got a good plan. But you know, I don't ever remember not going into a Monday with a good plan. Are we going to buy into it, and are we going to, you know, clock back in on Monday? And I told them to enjoy it for the weekend. Let us worry about the next game, and then Monday morning in the weight room, let's get focused on the next week, and hopefully that's what they do.
Should be a good game Friday night that you can listen to on the Redskin Radio Network. Pre-game 6:30, kickoff at 7. All right, let's get away from Adiana football. We're gonna go questions from a napkin via my cell phone from Jeremy Hyde.
Oh, okay.
You remember these questions last year? They were always off the wall. So, is it true? There's some rumors going around. Is it true that Coach Moore and Coach Cruz got mad because you dressed them alike, so you had to give them different colored shirts?
Yes.
I'm telling you, Coach Cruz sticks out like a sore thumb. I told him that at church, I think it was last week. I said, man, you stick out. Can't hide you on the sideline. All right, you're on a deserted island with no hope of escape. Which assistant coach would you pick based strictly on his ability to keep you both alive?
That's a tough question because my initial reaction is probably Coach Riley, because he would be the person that I would trust the most to find the supply of food on the island. But then if he found it, I don't think I would get any of it.
No.
So I probably would just stick with Coach Whitehead, because I think with his bubbly personality, that along with my bubbly personality, that we would keep everybody away anyhow, and we'd probably just be stuck there, which is probably where we want to be anyhow.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing with Riley, and he seems like a guy you don't want to make mad either, so it'd be a tough choice. All right, you're stuck on a deserted island again. Which coach is most likely to go to the other side of the island and start a rival tribe to take you out?
That's probably going to be Coach Elrod, because he has spent the better part of almost a century now of trying to figure out a way to best Phil Phillips. So I don't see why being stuck on a desert island would be any different.
All right, this is the last question. I feel like this is the best question, because we get to see maybe more personalities of the coaches. There's a $10,000 prize on the line at Legends Sofa Bar. It's their karaoke championship. Which assistant coach do you choose to help you win, and what song are you singing?
I'm probably, since it's karaoke, which I'm assuming is singing and dancing, or just singing?
No, just singing.
Okay, well then Elrod's out, because he would be my dancer, because I know he can dance. But if I needed someone to help us win a karaoke contest, it would probably be Coach White, because when you tell Coach White to do something, he does it, and he does it the way you want it done. So I would tell him, listen, we got no chance if it's up to me. So,
Yeah.
And the song that I would choose is probably, my toolbox is kind of limited. I'd probably have to go with Prince and Purple Rain.
No surprise there. I tried to get
Little Blue Chevette.
Yes, I tried to get the pregame CD. I was trying to throw in a Prince song, and it got axed.
Yeah.
By the principal. So I was not happy with
I've heard that censorship has hit the program, so
I don't know what was wrong. I mean, I had one Prince song, and it was a good one, but it got axed. You mentioned Coach White, and that's a guy that's really behind the scenes and nobody talks about. But I've noticed he's an up and coming, very very smart coach. Talk a little bit about his personality and what he brings to the table for Aniana.
Well, he's such a reserved personality that he's hard for a lot of people to read, but he is so he loves Aniana, and he's so committed to what he does, and he's going to be a great. He already is a great coach. He's got a bright future ahead of him, and to have him and to be him and John and both having played for us, and John Michael was with him up there last year, and Will McKinney's up there with him on Friday night as well, and be able that they know what we're needing to hear, they know what we're looking for, they know what we need to know, and to have them to be able to do that just helps us tremendously. That way we're obviously coaches on the sideline interacting with players is big, and being able to have most of those down there when they can do that helps tremendously.
Well, this Friday night, Aniana, Asheville. It'll be at Asheville at Ken Logan Stadium pregame, 6:30 kickoff at 7. Coach, appreciate you.
All right, Justin, thank you.